Alright, today I'm going to show you how to retighten your djembe or the drums that you bought from me from the Wood Shanty. I use the exact same type of tying system as a djembe, so it's the exact same thing in the way I do it. Once you have a new drum, the skin starts stretching a bit more, and then your ropes are going to be a little bit looser, or they're going to loosen up because the skin actually stretches. And as well, if the string is new too, or the rope is new, it stretches as well. So you'll get this like deeper type of sound. You want to tighten it up after maybe a month or two. You could wait a year, it doesn't really matter, but you'll notice that the drum is lower. It's not as tight, which is okay too. It all depends on the type of sound you want. If a drum is too tight, what you can do is you could put a wet cloth on top of it for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It actually makes the skin more pliable on the top, so it becomes looser, and you'll get yourself a deeper sound. Basically, the skin is susceptible to the moisture in the air. So if it's raining outside, you'll notice that your drum might be sounding a lot lower than usual. If it's dry, then it'll have a tighter sound. Okay, so the first step is to follow the horizontal cord until you find the end of it. Basically, this whole djembe is tied in with one continuous cord. So find the end of it on the horizontal. You'll find a little bunch. You might have to tie it with some long nose pliers, because a lot of these are tied really tight, and there's no way you could do it with your fingers. So get that going and basically unravel it until you get to the part where it starts to go vertical. Give yourself a good maybe 2 hours for the first time around. Usually I would say about an hour, but it might take 2 hours with all the surprises and the psychological preparation you have to do to get this done. But it's not that hard. It's a very simple process. So see, I've gotten to this part here, and now all of that is loose, all the vertical stuff. So we're gonna go and start to tighten the vertical. See, I'm going back and forth. It snakes back up and down, and you're gonna snug it up. You don't have to do it too tight, but just make it snug. And follow that all the way. Keep on bringing the slack down and across and around the drum until you come back around again. Once you're back around, again, there's probably a knot here that you're gonna need to untie. Use those long nose pliers or whatnot, and you're gonna want to retie that. It doesn't have to be tight, when you're retying, but you want to get rid of all that slack and tie it at the bottom, because we're gonna start to go around from the bottom. So you want that excess cord to go from there. Now here we have these two ropes. You see how it's looping at the top. So usually I start from these. You could start from any two, but I like to start from the ones that loop at the top. And what you do is you take your cord and you go under those two, pull it through, and then you want to go over, under, yeah. And then that's basically the pattern. You pull that through, and now I'm going to be pulling to the right because that's the direction I'm going. Now, if you're doing this going to the left, you're just pulling to the left, and you're doing the opposite mirrored on the left. Then you find the next two, and you do the exact same thing all the way around. Now, the important part with this beginning is that you're about, an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches from the bottom, and you want to stay parallel with the bottom. Don't zigzag. Make sure it's a nice straight line as you're going, because as you come around, it's going to go on top of that, and you want good straight lines that go across your drum. Okay, again here it's under, over, under. Keep thinking that every time you find your two chords, under, over, under. There again, under, pull through,
It's, you know, it's a long, tedious process in a sense, but again, it's fairly simple. It's almost like a meditation. So once you get to the to meeting up with the pattern and going on top of it, now things are going to change. So you're going to find the two closest chords that from the two patterns you've done, and usually I look at the top, and I grab those two chords, and I do the same thing where it's under, under, over, under on those, and that becomes the new chords you're looking for as you're going across. Two, and then as you see here, that I've done that pattern. I've skipped a string or a chord. That's totally fine. And I'm finding the next two. Now, basically, if you're messing up the pattern, there you go. So you got those two. If I'm messing up the pattern, in a sense, the principle is that you're tightening it. So yeah, you want it to look good. Most people don't really, like, ask yourself, have you ever really looked at, you know, a djembe and how the pattern is perfect or not? Now that you're going to be doing the tying, you're going to see a whole bunch of different djembes that are extremely terribly tied, but you probably never even noticed that. So it really doesn't matter. The most important part is that you're pulling these ropes together and crossing them to create tension. And it could be any of them as you're going around. In a sense, you know, it has to have a certain pattern. Okay, so now I'm testing the drum and it's gotten tight enough. I have extra cord. I'm not going to keep on tightening it. So once it sounds perfect, I don't want to tighten it more. This extra cord, I'm going to tuck it in. So this is kind of like the third part of the tie. So I'm just going in between these V's, tucking the excess cord around, which kind of creates more of that vertical pattern, which is more of an awesome look. So you just keep going like this until you have about, I don't know, about a foot left. Some people use this excess cord to create a handle or a strap. I usually leave that for another cord. I don't use the same cord that I'm tying the drum with that I'll make a strap with. Just because, I don't know, I just find the strap should be a different cord. So once I have about a foot left of cord, I choose about four strings, and I just interweave it to finish it off. It kind of gives it a nice look, and it just tucks things in. That's all I'm doing here. I'm just tucking it in. It's not adding strength or anything to the drum tension. It's just to tuck it in, because basically when you want to retighten it, if the skin is getting stretched, you're going to need that extra rope. I could try to give my drums enough rope to tie it around 3 times, and 2 is usually enough when I'm retightening it or tightening it. And if you want to retighten it, you'll find that too, because you're pulling it closer, and you're not. It usually gives me enough, anyways. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm saying anymore, but I think you get the gist of it. And there you go. It tucks it in. If it gets loose and you see it unraveling, you could just, tighten it back in. Anyways, hope you like that. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Maybe some simple drum lessons and such. Anyways, and if you have any questions, let me know too. Great. See you later. Bye.